covering the community, events, and people of Georgia, Carolina. This is the Means Report. Here is Brad Means.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for the Means Report. We are so happy to have you with us on this Sunday, and we appreciate you watching. You know, we record this on a Thursday, but if the weather forecast holds true, then you are watching this broadcast in near perfect conditions. Highs at about 80 for our max. Maybe fall has finally found us here in the CSRA, and we're glad that you found us on your television dial. We promise to make the next 27 minutes or so well worth your while. We have managed to track down and secure for that half hour a very busy man. He is Dr. Brooks Keel, the president of Georgia Regents University, the chief executive officer of the health system there at Georgia Regents, and he is just hitting the ground running with his brand new job and kind enough to direct his path over here to Television Park. We're grateful to Dr. Keel for being here. He's going to catch us up on all things GRU. Also, at the end of this broadcast, we'll let you know how you can get in touch with us and help us get more great guests like the president here. Please welcome him to the set of the Means Report, Dr. Brooks Keel. Dr. Keel, congratulations on your new job, and thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a real delight to be here. It really is.
Well, we appreciate it. My first question is, and this is fitting, especially with the weather changing the way it is, how are you coping with no football team? First time in 5 years you haven't had one on campus.
Well, it's a little different, I'll have to tell you. Although we did watch the football game Saturday night on TV, and almost wish I hadn't. That was a tough loss for Eagle Nation. But you know, football's such a huge part of the southeastern United States. I think everybody knows that, and it's such a huge part of Georgia Southern's culture and traditions and everything there. So that's one thing we really enjoyed. But we enjoyed football because it was about the athletes and the students to get a chance to really get to know them. And you have, there's not football here at Georgia Regents, of course, but there are other things. You know, you got world-class golf here, obviously. You got basketball, and we went to the volleyball game, opening home game just the other day, and ladies are already looking really good. So it's a chance to be with the students, and that's what's important.
You know, you don't need anything else on your plate, and I'm not trying to put anything on it, but might we one day have a football team? Is that even something that's
no. No.
Okay, no.
No.
Not going to happen.
Let me be very clear about that. We won't have football here at Georgia Regents. Not in my lifetime, anyhow. It's a very expensive proposition to do, and
it is.
And again, I don't think we don't need football to really promote all the great other things we have here to offer, not only to our students and staff and faculty, but to the community as well. So,
well, for those of our viewers who do not know you and who may not be from here, you could not be more Augusta. Take us through especially the schooling part of your life that shows your path through the Garden City.
Oh, absolutely. I say I am the product of the entire education system, not just the higher education system here in Augusta. I was born here, raised here, went to Montesana Elementary, Tubman Junior High School. I was a graduate from Richmond Academy. Then got my undergraduate degree at Augusta College, and then from there my graduate degree at MCG. So, I have truly been born, raised, and educated here, and it's an unbelievable privilege and a humbling honor to be able to come back home.
Was that a big draw when they offered you the job?
Oh, absolutely.
Is the homecoming part of it?
No question about it. I mean, when you, especially in this type of career, and you graduate, and you know by definition you're gonna have to move away from home. And when you move away from home and that sort of thing, you always think, well, it'd be nice to come back home. But in the back of your mind, you really don't let yourself go there because it's just not going to happen. The opportunities are rare in a career like this. You have a chance to come home. So without question, it was a huge draw to be able to come back home. And I'm meeting a lot of people and hearing a lot of names that I haven't heard in over 30 years or so. So it's been a great reunion.
Well, Dr. Keel comes from a first-class family. I can vouch for that. Let me ask you the question that many people have probably already asked you, and I heard your answer on the news in soundbite form one night about the name change, about the fact that a lot of people are still upset that the word Augusta was by and large removed from the new name, and the people don't like the name Georgia Regents University, some of them. I know you said that that's not something that's being talked about right now, but kind of take us a little more in depth and tell us what might happen down the road as far as discussions about changing GRU's name.
Well, I mean, the short answer is that's really not my decision to make, and it's certainly not my purview, nor is it within my authority to do. That decision, that authority, that ability to change that name clearly rests with the Board of Regents and with the Chancellor, and it is up to them to make those decisions. I mean, obviously, the name's been discussed. The change of name has been discussed since I started here. It's been discussed for previous 2 years before I started here. And I know there's still a great deal of sensitivity associated with that name because there's a great deal of pride in this community about that name, about what it means. To me, the important thing, although that I do appreciate the name and the importance of it, and how people get passionate about that, but I think the important thing is the bridge between the university and the community.
Sure.
It is so critically important that Augusta feels a part of this university, because this university can't be successful without Augusta. And I think the flip side of that is also true. I don't believe Augusta can really be the community that we all want it to be and all know it can be without having a very successful relationship with the university. So it is definitely a two-way street regardless of what the name is, and that's what I'm really focused on right now.
Well, some would say that bridge or link would be stronger if the name Augusta were more prominently featured. And I don't want to blow anything that might be going on behind the scenes with your bosses at the chancellor level or board of regents level, but have they, the decision makers, given any indication that they're even willing to reopen talks?
Well, clearly there's been talk about that, as I say.
Already, there has.
There has been, and that should not be a great surprise to you, because there's been talk in the community about that. And I know that the regents are going to want to position me and give me all the support that I need to be as successful as I possibly can be. So they're going to do what's right, not only for the university, but what's right for the community, and I have great faith that will happen, and so we'll see where that goes.
We will. We'll wait and see, and I appreciate your answer very much. Your career at Georgia Southern, time-wise, was in sync with the career of your predecessor at Georgia Regents. Did you ever sit down there in Statesboro and say, man, when that guy quits, I hope I can take over? Or did you ever during those 5 years say, boy, I'd do that differently or better?
I really didn't. I mean, one thing is, it's certainly not fair for me to be at another position and second guess what a president's doing in any other position, whether it's here or another state for that matter. But you obviously look at your alma mater, and in this case, my alma maters. Oh yeah, plural, both of them, and I would obviously watch the success here and the growth of this university from that perspective, just because I love both the universities I've received my degree and I say this a lot, and it's really important. The value of your degree is not based off the reputation of that university when you graduate. It's based off the reputation today and in the future. So clearly, as Georgia Regents University, this merged university especially, gets to be more prominent, my degree becomes more valuable. Yeah. And that has a personal impact on me. But I've been to some great universities. I went to LSU for 3.5 years and at Florida State for 4.5 years. And I still, kind of follow what they're doing too. Still got great friends and colleagues there, just like I've got great friends and colleagues here.
What about capitalizing on the brand that is GRU and trying to make that degree more valuable nationwide? We've had some great headlines lately. You had $2.5 million donated by Press On to the Children's Hospital to help fight and research pediatric cancer. You had the naming of the Cancer Research Building, thanks to the Story family. How can we take those good things and let the world know about them, and are those wheels already turning? Oh, no doubt about it. They're turning at full speed, and it really is incumbent on us to take advantage of that momentum and build on that momentum. The merger created such a totally different university, and through that, such totally different and more robust opportunities that could have ever been accomplished with just the two separate. And I think the two examples you gave are beautiful examples of how people are passionate about things that have happened in their lives and how this university has impacted those lives in very significant and very meaningful ways. And there's story after story after story like that you see here. And we've got to take advantage of that. We've got to mobilize this community around this university and garner that support so we can do more of that type of success and have more of that type of success across the board. We're the only public medical school in this state, and with that comes great responsibility and great opportunity. And now's the time to really take advantage of that. What do you want GRU and Georgia Health Sciences to become? I was thinking on the way over here, will it be the next Mayo or MD Anderson or Emory or the next UGA? Because you do have the liberal arts side and the medical side. What are we the next what? How big can we start dreaming? Well, the sky is truly the limit, and I think we're limited by resources, of course. I'd be lying if I didn't say that, but we're really limited by our own imagination and our own willingness to go down a particular road.
I don't want us to get caught into a trap of saying we want to be like this university or that university, because everyone's obviously different and everyone's had a different path to get there. We need to be like what we need to be. But having said that, they're great models, and you mentioned some of those out there of what we should aspire to be. Georgia Regents University has got to become a top 50 medical school. We know that. The governor has said that is in his vision. I share that vision. That is very, very heavy lifting. There's a tremendous amount of effort's got to go towards getting us that way. Getting us to that point, to me, is not the issue. It's getting us down that road, traveling towards that, setting that as a goal. To me, is where we need to be going, and we are rapidly moving towards doing that. We've got to become a destination university for a number of things. Destination for healthcare clearly is what we need to do, but destination for education and for training, both in the health fields and also in the other fields that bring in the Augusta State University, which we now call the Somerville campus, into the mix. Cybersecurity is a beautiful example of how if we don't take advantage of cybersecurity here, and if we don't get on top of it and get out ahead of it, we ought to be ashamed of ourselves, because that is an unbelievable opportunity for us and this community.
I want to talk to you about cybersecurity, and this is airing a day after an important seminar was held at GRU. Real quickly, though, before we go to break, talk to me about how we can get to that next level. Is it changing and enhancing our curriculum on one side, say on the liberal arts side, and then on the clinical side, encouraging top docs to come here because we have groundbreaking research going on? Are those the things that capture the world's attention?
No question. It's all about the people. I mean, you know, it's all about having outstanding faculty and outstanding staff, which we currently obviously do. But in those areas, cybersecurity, for example, we've got to recruit more. We're in the process now of just launched a cluster hiring campaign. It's going to bring in at least 6 additional faculty in the areas of cybersecurity that match our own unique sweet spot in that area. That's going to help bring a national reputation and interest to us, which is going to recruit students, which is going to recruit business and industry. We can't be successful in that area, and the same applies for the health fields as well. We can't be successful in that area either without taking a role we have in economic development in this city, in this community. That is a key responsibility we have too. And that further indicates that how important it is that we have a great relationship with this community, because it's a wonderful place to live, to work, to play, to train, and get education. And it's going to be we can be a fantastic magnet to draw additional business and industry into this great community and take advantage of that and help Augusta grow just like we can help the university grow.
We're going to talk more about the growth of Augusta, what it might look like in the downtown medical district and Somerville campuses and the area in between. We're also going to take a look at the challenges that Dr. Keel and his team face when it comes to getting kids to come to campus and stay here and learn here versus going somewhere else. When the Means Report continues.